Have you ever just sat there and wondered why you push yourself so much? Why you wake up already feeling behind? Already feeling like you haven't done enough? We live in a world that glorifies the grind, that tells us to hustle harder, to chase more, be more, achieve more. And somewhere along the way, we started treating rest as laziness and treating ourselves like machines. But you're not a machine. You're a human being. And maybe, just maybe, pressuring yourself every day isn't making you better. Maybe it's quietly breaking you. When did doing your best stop being enough? Maybe it was that one time you failed and someone made you feel small. Maybe it was growing up in a house where love had to be earned. Maybe it was school or work or that one toxic relationship. Somewhere someone told you, you have to be perfect to be worthy. So you started running. You chased success, achievements, validation. You tried to control everything, to never disappoint anyone. And in doing that, you slowly began to disappoint yourself. Not because you weren't trying hard, but because you were trying too hard. You became your own harshest critic. You set standards for yourself that even the people you admire couldn't meet. You beat yourself up for resting, for making mistakes, for being human. But here's something no one ever told you. Self-pressure doesn't come from your potential. It comes from fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. And the more you pressure yourself, the more you feed that fear. You start tying your worth to your productivity, to how busy you are, to how many things you've accomplished today. You begin to believe that if you're not doing everything, you're doing nothing. That if you're not always pushing, you're falling behind. But life doesn't work like that. Some of the most meaningful growth happens when we slow down, when we pause, when we breathe. A tree doesn't grow taller because you shout at it. It grows in its own time, silently, patiently, deeply. Let me ask you something. Would you talk to a friend the way you talk to yourself? Would you call them lazy for needing rest? Would you say they're worthless because they made a mistake? Would you demand perfection from them every single day? Of course not. So why is it okay when you do it to yourself? You deserve kindness too. You deserve space to grow, to fail, to learn, to just be. You are allowed to want more from life without turning that desire into self-punishment. Pressure can be useful, yes. It can push us out of our comfort zones, but it's like fire. A small flame warms you. A raging fire burns you alive. What good is achieving everything if you lose yourself in the process? What's the point of reaching the top if you're too numb to feel the joy? You weren't born just to prove your worth. You were born to experience life. Feel, to love, to rest, to laugh. And none of those things require pressure. They require presence. So maybe today is a good day to pause, not to give up, but to loosen your grip, to stop measuring your value in tasks checked off, to remember that progress isn't always loud, that sometimes doing nothing is exactly what your soul needs. You don't have to prove anything to be enough. You already are. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy. Life is not a race. You're not late. You're not behind. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Maybe it's time to stop fighting yourself and start listening. What is your body trying to tell you? What is your heart whispering beneath all that noise? Because the truth is, the version of you that's calm, present, soft, that version isn't weaker. It's wiser. So breathe. Let go of the weight you were never meant to carry. Stop pressuring yourself to become someone you're already becoming. You're doing better than you think. And that is enough. But I know it's hard to believe that sometimes, because silence can feel uncomfortable. Stillness can feel like failure. When you're used to running, walking feels wrong. When you're used to pressure, peace feels unfamiliar. You're not lazy for needing rest. You're simply human. Being human means carrying things no one else sees. It means facing battles in your mind that others mistake for calm. So if all you did today was get through the day, that's enough. If all you did was breathe, that's enough. You don't need to earn your place by constantly pushing. Sometimes your existence alone is strength. There's this quiet kind of courage, not the loud movie-style bravery, but the kind that says, I'm tired, but I'll try again tomorrow. The kind that chooses softness over struggle. Maybe that's what healing looks like. Not fixing everything overnight, but learning to live with yourself gently, Learning to be okay with not always being okay. So the next time you feel that pressure rising, that voice telling you to do more, be more, pause. Ask yourself, is this pressure helping me grow, or is it making me forget who I really am? Because who you really are isn't defined by how much you achieve, but by how deeply you live. Let that be the new goal. Not perfection, not performance, but peace. The kind that doesn't need to be earned, the kind that was always yours. You just forgot it for a while. And now, you're remembering.
If this made you pause, if you're drawn to deeper truths and quiet strength, then you're in the right place. Like, subscribe, and keep exploring with us. See you in the next one.